From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
It's rain right now, but eventually this turns to snow. Winter weather advisories have been posted. We'll show you who's under the gun.
Also, murder charges are brought against the man suspected of shooting his parents to death on the campus of Central Michigan University.
But first, breaking news from Macomb County, where another local school has been threatened with violence. Thanks for being with us for the news at 5. Police have handled dozens of threats to local schools in recent weeks, and in the majority of cases, they've found no real danger to students or staff.
This time, though, investigators did find guns and ammunition inside the home of 18-year-old Timothy Evans. Evans, a senior at Utica High School. We bring in Priya Mann, who's live outside the school with more on how this threat came to light. Priya.
Devin, Kimberly, it was students, Evans' own classmates. Police say as soon as they saw that troubling social media post, they went to the police station to report it. And tonight, the deputy chief praising these brave students who he says when they saw something, they did something about it. 18-year-old Utica High School senior Timothy Evans has been charged with making a terrorist threat or false report of terrorism. Police say Evans posted a picture of himself handling a weapon with a threatening statement toward Utica High School. On Monday, his classmates went to police to report the threat made on social media.
Something happened in Florida, and young kids have now resonated and said, we are going to take an active role in this discussion. We're going to take an active role in what is going on in our schools, and we're going to participate in this.
Shelby Township Police got a search warrant and found a number of firearms, replicas, and ammunition inside Evans' home. They felt the threat was credible and arrested the teen.
Anytime that you pose in a social media post armed and make any type of threat to your school, you're treading in the waters of this terrorist law.
The judge set his bond at $75,000, no 10%. Evans is now out on bail. Police determined there was no ongoing threat to the high school since students came forward after school and the teen was in custody Monday evening. There was an increased police presence Tuesday that will continue tomorrow.
We're not going to be the agency that said, well, why did you need 3 and 4 and 5 contacts? The prosecutor is no longer going to say, listen, 1 and 2 contacts, we'll have some conversation. If you rise to the level of a crime, we're going to enforce the laws.
And the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office says they are taking every threat seriously. They did release a statement. Let's get a portion of that up on your screen. It reads in part, calling a threat a prank or a joke is not a valid defense. I urge parents and educators to continue to have these hard conversations with our youth, explaining to them the long-term ramifications of making a threat in this day and age. Evans now faces up to 20 years in jail. Reporting live from Shelby Township, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
And Priya, you say Evans's post on social media escalated. What does that mean? What more can you tell us about that?
Well, police tell us last week he posted a picture of a weapon, which in and of itself is not a crime. But in light of the current climate, the school resource officer spoke to Evans and his family, telling him that might not be the best idea. But it seems like Evans did not heed that advice, then posting a photo of himself handling a weapon with a specific threat. So again, the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office and police urging parents to have this discussion with their kids. I'll send it back to you.
Certainly a serious situation. Okay, Priya, thank you. Devin.
All right, Kim, had a little bit of snowfall coming our way this morning, and now mixed with a little bit of rain, a return engagement, I guess.
Yeah, that midday break that we talked about yesterday,
right.
That's about done.
Yeah.
The sunshine was nice, but here comes the next round of precipitation, and that is going to be snow eventually. It's rain right now, especially down in our south zone. The radar's sort of overplaying this. There's a lot of moisture that's not quite making it to the ground just yet. Some drier air that's got to get saturated. In fact, when you look at these reports, Howell's reporting rain, so is Ann Arbor, and as well as Adrian. But Monroe, even up here to the east side, still a decent amount of sunshine, especially around the city. That's going to be fading as clouds move in, but it's still 42 at Metro, hence the rain. And then eventually, as temperatures cool tonight, we start looking at this. Winter weather advisory takes effect at 7 p.m. Why is this here? Well, through Thursday, look at some of these snowfall totals. Could be topping half a foot in parts of our at least northern metro, but mostly our north zone. And a lot of this is going to be backloaded as we get into late Wednesday and Thursday. We'll break it down in your 4-zone forecast and see if anything better is to come after that in just a few minutes. Kim?
A Central Michigan University student accused of shooting and killing his parents last week inside his dorm room faced a judge this afternoon. James Eric Davis Jr. is still in a hospital but appeared via video to be formally charged with murder. Local 4's Larry Spruill is live in the newsroom. And Larry, the judge, he set a very high bond here.
Yeah, Kimberly, we're talking about $125 million bond. That's what a judge granted Davis today. Now he's facing 3 charges, including 2 counts of murder. Still in the hospital room, James Eric Davis Jr. faced a judge on Tuesday afternoon, hearing for the first time the charges he's now facing.
It's that you are charged with 3 counts, 2 counts of open murder and 1 count of felony firearm.
Police say last Friday, 19-year-old James Davis Jr. shot and killed his parents, 48-year-old James Davis Sr. and 48-year-old Diva Davis, inside his Campbell Hall dorm room just before 9 a.m. Right after the shooting, Davis took off. That's when police shut down the campus and searched for hours. He was found by some railroad tracks just north of campus early Saturday morning. He was suffering from hypothermic conditions. He now sits in the hospital. Honorable Judge Paul Chamberlain issued Davis a $125 million bond.
Count 1, the court's going to set bond at $500,000. Count 2, $500,000. Count 3, $125,000 for a total of $1.25 million. Cash or surety.
And as soon as he is discharged from the hospital, he will be transported to jail. We're live in the newsroom tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Larry, have we heard anything from Davis's family? We know we had other siblings. Have they said when their parents' funeral will be or anything?
Well, Kimberly, according to a spokesperson for the family, the funeral and the wake will be this weekend. The wake will be on Friday. The funeral will be on Saturday. They will take place in Chicago.
Sad, sad story. Okay. Larry, thanks. Devin.
25 people ended up being arrested and 4 officers hurt at Michigan State University during an event involving a white nationalist, Richard Spencer. Police say 13 of the people taken into custody were arrested on felony charges, including carrying concealed weapon and resisting and obstructing police officers. 3 people have been arraigned in connection with the incidents. Several of the other people in custody are expected to be arraigned tomorrow.
Mayor Duggan is set to take the stage tonight for his State of the City address. Setup is going on now at Western International High School in Southwest Detroit, a carefully chosen setting for this evening. Let's get right to our Mara McDonald. She's live inside the school, and Mara, the mayor is being introduced tonight by Detroit Schools Superintendent Dr. Nikolai Vitti.
He sure is, Kimberly, and that's because this is no accident. The focus of tonight's speech is going to be educational opportunities for Detroit children and their families. Now, that doesn't mean that mayor isn't going to talk about other things like financial solvency as well as neighborhood redevelopment, but really the push tonight is removing barriers so that Detroit's children can get a better education. Take a listen.
For a while, the mayor's been thinking about what's the best way for us to participate in schools and in education in Detroit, especially considering that we've got DPSED and charters in the city that are doing great work. How can we be the best partner? And that's really what we're going to be addressing is ways to eliminate barriers. We're not going to be running education, but at the same time, we're going to make it easier for families to access quality education. We're going to start with what he's going to show tonight.
Back here live, Duggan is always an interesting one to watch. He is the only politician currently in this area who can do one of these addresses with no teleprompter, no prepared speech. I expect him to roll up there tonight with a legal pad with a few chicken scratch notes. It's always something to watch, so stand by. We'll be here for the address, and we'll, of course, tell you everything coming up later tonight. We are live in Southwest Detroit. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara, we appreciate it. And don't forget, you can watch Mayor Duggan's speech live at 7 o'clock here on Local 4, or you can stream it on our website. Click on Detroit.com.
Southfield police are searching for a woman wanting connection with a purse theft at Meijer. Police say this woman took a purse from a shopping cart being used by a 66-year-old woman at the Meijer on the corner of Telegraph and 12 Mile. She allegedly left the store in an older white 4-door Oldsmobile and attempted to use the victim's credit cards at a BP gas station. That was in Detroit. If you can identify the woman, you're urged to contact police.
Michigan is getting low marks in a new report on the state's infrastructure. Overall, the state gets a D+ from the American Society of Civil Engineers. In the 2018 report card, the highest grade Michigan received was a C+ for solid waste, while the lowest grades were a D- for roads and stormwater. Only 18% of the roads were rated as being in good condition. The report claims much of the state's infrastructure is reaching the end of its useful life.
The 2018 report card for Michigan's infrastructure covers 13 infrastructure categories. Of those 13, 9 categories are in mediocre condition and 4 are in poor condition.
The report recommends increasing state funding, maintaining infrastructure, ensuring high-quality data gathering, and much more. You can read the entire report on our website, clickondetroit.com.
Phone bills across Michigan are about to rise a little bit to help pay for 911 emergency phone system upgrades. Governor Snyder has signed into law a boost in the monthly surcharge on phone bills of an additional 6 cents per month. Prepaid wireless plans will see a 5% increase per retail transaction. Current rate is just under 2%. These increases are going to end up generating about $20 million a year. Some 911 system technology has not been updated in nearly 60 years, if you can believe it.
All right, still ahead, a frightening attack on board a Greyhound bus. A stranger puts a knife to the throat of a 3-year-old girl. What the little girl's mother and other passengers did that may have saved several lives. Nick?
A sentencing for a man in Allen Park who jumped into a car, stole it while a woman was pumping gas. She jumped in and someone else tried to save her. But what did he say today, and what did the judge have in response to it?
All right, Nick, on a $100 million lawsuit filed against a local media outlet after a former reporter from the station says she was sexually harassed and then ignored. And that's next.
Tonight, new at 6.
Pressured to play, a Flint football coach under fire after a former player alleges his influence ended his career. We'll tell you what that coach is accused of doing.
And a Shelby Township couple looking to expand their family decide to advertise their desire to adopt, why they chose this unorthodox method.
WXYZ TV, its owner Scripps Howard and attorney Jeffrey Feiger are about to square off in federal court. Today, Feiger filed a lawsuit in which he's asking for $100 million for his client, former Channel 7 reporter Tara Edwards. It's a sexual harassment suit that names Channel 7's morning news anchor. Our business editor Rod Maloney is live in Southfield with more. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, Tara Edwards left Channel 7 just over a year ago. She claims that she left because really she had no choice. The toxic work atmosphere that she said morning news anchor Malcolm Maddox created was that bad. And this after she says she reported the alleged sexual harassment to management and they did nothing. Tara Edwards no longer works in television news, chased out, she says, by a horrible, hostile work environment.
From the beginning, all I ever wanted was for my name to be cleared. All I ever wanted was for Mr. Maddox to admit the vile, vicious, nasty rumors were not true.
Edwards claims Maddox spread rumors about promiscuous sexual behavior they were supposed to have had. The suit itself tells in great and graphic detail about the apparent harassment Edwards says she endured for roughly 5 years at Channel 7, claiming, quote, Mr. Maddox made multiple efforts to kiss Ms. Edwards on the face and mouth at work, end quote. Expressed his desire to engage in sexual activity with her, forced Ms. Edwards to view sexually explicit pictures and videos, showing Ms. Edwards a nude picture of a female colleague she worked with at WXYZ TV. Late last year, after Reverend W.J. Rideout went public with this case, WXYZ suspended Maddox for 3 weeks while it investigated. Maddox returned to the airwaves in December and admitted that he exercised very poor judgment engaging in inappropriate communications with coworkers.
It was an investigation in name only. It was really an attempt to exonerate the perpetrator and allow him to continue in his position at the expense of all the suffering that Tara had to undergo.
Now, just moments ago, we received word from Channel 7 that Malcolm Maddox is going to be off the air for the time being. They gave us a statement. I'm going to read directly from it. Quote, Scripps is dedicated to maintaining respectful workplace environments. We take very seriously allegations of sexual harassment or any type of workplace harassment. Scripps president and CEO Adam Simpson said, quote, we are committed to working promptly and vigorously to pursue employee concerns of mistreatment across all of our operations and to take all actions necessary to ensure our workplaces are free from harassment, end quote. Reporting live in Southfield, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod. Detroit native and Super Bowl champion Brandon Graham was honored today in Detroit.
Graham graduated from Detroit Crockett Technical High School, starred at the University of Michigan, and has played all 9 years of his pro career with the Philadelphia Eagles as a defensive end. He made a key play to help the Eagles win Super Bowl 52, and today his accomplishments were celebrated.
You might ask, why are we in Detroit celebrating a Philadelphia Eagle football player? We have to do that because he's a homeboy of Detroit, and we come to honor Brandon Graham this morning.
Standing up here now, it's like it's an honor and a privilege to be able to stand before all of you and say thank you, just for this, because it's been a whole bunch of blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point.
Graham made sure to thank his support system and says Detroit will always be his home, and we're proud of him.
Great to get to go back at home and celebrate a moment like that. Really great. All right, let's bring Ben back in, and this is a little bit of, we're not quite done yet, I guess.
Yeah.
All sort of the same thing.
Brandon snuck in with the sunshine in the 40s
yes,
today.
That's right.
Just missing that snow in between. But we have multiple rounds that we're going to be watching over the next few days, so this could get serious, at least in spots. But we're going to give you sort of the 30,000-foot picture here on the satellite, and sometimes, even though these storms are menacing, they paint a pretty picture on the satellite. And there's that trough and that swirl that you see. That's the upper level low that's driving everything, and it is going to put down some snow as it takes its own sweet time, sort of meandering across the Great Lakes. So we're in for multiple rounds, and some of us are going to get it worse than others, especially in areas that are north of Detroit are probably going to look at the worst. Now, this is a shot from downtown Detroit. You're looking down the river, and you can see how these clouds get dark out on the horizon. Last of the sunshine is holding on for dear life, but eventually those clouds are going to win out, and the rain's going to start moving in. Metro's reporting dry conditions, but cloudy skies right now. South of there, though, you can see where that precipitation has already started to move into our south and west zones. So down in Lenawee, Monroe County, the showers have been falling. Also out in Ann Arbor and Howell. And even though some blue is showing up here on 4 Live radar, we haven't had any ground reports of snow just yet. Temperatures are cooling, but so far that is all liquid that's been at our reporting stations this evening. So as we go through tonight, you can see that this little area generally will sort of fizzle out. And as that low gets closer to us that we showed you, things are going to start to expand here as we get into the nighttime hours, and you're going to see the band of snow sort of set up right across the middle of the area. That pivots around and stays with us and sort of gets reinvigorated as we get past the morning commute tomorrow. By 9 a.m., most of that snow should be in the thumb, and then we'll see a much bigger push as we get into Wednesday and especially Thursday. Again, this is mostly going to be for areas that are north of Detroit, but that band that sets up right across the area, this is what we're looking at for the morning commute. Let's break down those totals. This is just through tomorrow morning's rush hour in our 4 zone. Metro zone numbers about 1 to 2 inches, although closer to that band, we could start seeing 3 to 4. It's going to be fairly narrow, but that snow could stack up in a hurry. And if it extends into the south zone, it's going to be here in parts of Monroe County. You can see 3-inch totals there, 1 to 2, and maybe even less down towards the state line. West zone, the further west you are, the lower those totals are. Down here towards 275, 3 to 4 inches, Novi and Canton. And in our north zone, the extent of that does reach up into Sanilac County, some respectable numbers, and that's just through the rush hour tomorrow. So we'll go from 30 degrees to a high of 40, but I think we'll sort of be on a snow break in between rounds when we hit that. So everything tomorrow should be in the form of snow, and we do cool down before we warm back up for the weekend. So again, those winter weather advisories north of 8 Mile and Washtenaw County starting tonight.
So stay tuned. Every year, Forbes puts out its list of the world's billionaires. This year, there is a new term for how much the man at the top is worth.
We'll have that. Plus, you may not see it at first glance, but something about this statue was found to be so offensive, the city of Kalamazoo is getting rid of it. Next.
Across Michigan tonight, officials in Kalamazoo have decided to remove a park fountain decried by some as racist. The Fountain of the Pioneers in Bronson Park features a European settler with a weapon in his hand towering over a Native American. Some people argue the fountain can teach people about history, but the Kalamazoo City Commission voted today to have it removed. So the fountain will be dismantled and put into storage later this year, and then a plan will be developed to put something new in its place.
A woman on board a California Greyhound bus is accused of attacking a 3-year-old and stabbing the child's mother. Police say the woman walked over to a little girl on the bus and held a knife to her neck. The girl's mother allegedly wrestled her daughter away but got stabbed in the stomach. Several passengers tried to help.
Because I'm scared, I said, don't be scared, sweetheart. Grab a hold of my hand and squeeze. Just calm down. You'll be okay.
I was grabbing her fingers to try to pry away the knife. The bus driver had her other arm. She slipped away, and that's when she started going for herself with the knife.
Yeah, police say the woman ended up stabbing herself in the neck and chest area before a man got hold of the knife and threw it away. It's unclear what charges that woman will face.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is now the world's first centibillionaire. A centibillionaire because as the richest person on the planet, he is now worth more than $100 billion. That title comes because of a $39.2 billion jump in his net worth this past year, which is, you know, pretty good as returns go. Bezos now tops the Forbes list of the world's billionaires. Bill Gates is in second place at $90 billion. Third place goes to Warren Buffett, $84 billion. In fourth place, Chairman and CEO of LVMH, Bernard Arnault, with $72 billion. And in fifth place, it is Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, with $71 billion.
New at 5:30.
It's been less than a month since these two brothers were shot and killed outside their home. I'm Larry Sproul, and I'll tell you what the family says the two suspects took from them.
Today, President Trump holding a joint news conference as the White House is facing questions on a number of issues at home and abroad.
A man is sentenced for up to 20 years for a carjacking that lasted less than 1 minute. What happened with Eric Larch and what the prosecutor said that certainly may have changed the outcome.
Making the most. He'll spend the next 4 to 20 years in prison for a crime he didn't even pull off. Today, an Allen Park man was sentenced for a carjacking at a BP station that was all caught on tape.
As Nick Monticelli reports, 37-year-old Eric Lachey pled guilty and faced a judge today for the final time.
This is one of those stories where the entire thing is told by the video, the sentencing, what he looked like today, and the actual carjacking. One that certainly helped catch him because the tips poured in after people saw this video.
Calling case number 179799501, the People versus Earl Larch.
Many of you might not recognize this man, Eric Larch, in court at least, but you may recognize him from this video that made the rounds in October of last year after he carjacked a woman at this BP station in Allen Park. This victim was pumping gas at the station when Larch jumped into the car and took off, but not before the victim jumped in too. What's strange is Larch made a U-turn in the parking lot and briefly got caught next to a gas tanker. The driver, who did not want to be on camera, jumped in to help, rushing around the car, ripping Larch from the front seat.
And he just shimmied out of my arms and away he went.
Away he went until tips led to his arrest. Larch pled guilty to carjacking, and even though the victim was not in court, the prosecutor conveyed the long-term damage he has caused.
The only good thing that can be said about this case is that she wasn't physically injured. But how do we put a number on her peace of mind? How do we put a number on the fact that she's going to be constantly looking over her shoulders for the rest of her life?
I'd like to apologize to the victim in this, and I've had a long history with drug abuse, and I'm going to be getting myself together while I'm incarcerated.
Judge Paul Cusick agreed he needs help while sentencing him to 4 to 20 years.
But you need to stop committing crimes. That's your big concern, and you can't always blame it on drugs with regards to that.
At the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Larch can appeal the sentence but has to do it within 42 days.
Two brothers were murdered while trying to protect their family during a home invasion. The incident happened on Detroit's west side on February 15th. Today, the family of Michael and William Orblick is asking for answers. They tell Larry Sproul they've lost more than just members of their family.
It's a very sad story. It's been less than a month since these two brothers were shot and killed outside their home on the west side. And now the family tells me they still do not have answers. That's why they're passing out the flyers, asking and looking for justice.
Troy and T.
It's all given away.
It's okay. Troy and T.
You can see the pure pain in Bonnie Gothel's eyes and hear the heartache in her voice Tuesday afternoon. The names of her two sons were the only words she could get out. Her two sons, Michael Orblich and William Orblich, were both murdered on Thursday, February 15th of this year, while trying to protect their family during a home invasion on Detroit's west side. Police said the two were home in their basement when their brother and sister went outside to the car. Once outside, the two suspects approached them and tried to rob them. They then forced them back inside at gunpoint. It's something their mother, Bonnie, remembers like it happened yesterday.
And they just threw me down. I got Trent behind me. They pointed the gun at Holly's head and said, if I kept trying to reach her, and they said, if you touch her, we're going to blow her head off.
The suspects ran away when they heard the two brothers coming up the stairs. Both Tej and Troy ran after them. That's when the suspects shot them.
So you could have had anything in my house you wanted. You went through my house. You took nothing, but you took the most precious thing from me in my life. There's no more Troy. There's no more T.
Now police are passing out these flyers in their honor, hoping justice will come soon for the family. Reporting on Detroit's west side, Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Police are offering a $2,500 reward, but if that tip comes in by midnight tonight, it will be increased to $3,500.
Today, the White House facing questions on a number of topics at home and abroad. Possible progress with North Korea, criticism of the president's new tariff plan, and more questions about the Russia investigation. This is the president holds an afternoon news conference with the Prime Minister of Sweden. Blaine Alexander reports from Washington.
Today, the internal battle over a possible trade war heating up. House Speaker Paul Ryan hoping to nudge President Trump in a different direction.
The proper approach is a more surgical approach so that we do not have unintended consequences.
Other Republicans more direct.
We cannot spark a trade war.
But West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin thanking the president for a chance to change NAFTA.
It just destroyed our steel industry, destroyed our aluminum industry, destroyed so many manufacturing jobs.
This after a potential breakthrough during talks between North and South Korea. Leader Kim Jong-un reportedly willing to discuss the possibility of giving up nuclear weapons.
We're prepared to go whichever path is necessary. I think we're having very good dialogue, and you're going to certainly find out pretty soon what's happening.
And today, the White House facing new questions about the Russia investigation after a fired insider, Sam Nunberg, became the first Trump aide to suggest the president may have done something wrong.
I think that he may have done something during the election, but I don't know that.
Nunberg defiantly declaring he will not comply with a grand jury subpoena, but later saying he may change his mind. Now, Nunberg has already been interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller's office and could face jail time if he does not cooperate again. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
What is expected to be a very competitive midterm election this year officially began today in Texas.
A lot of people are looking at the primaries in Texas as an early indicator of what they could potentially expect across the country. Typically, red state is experiencing a large number of Democratic voters, with officials saying the number is double that from the 2014 midterms. One strategist says, though it's impressive, it's still hard to tell if Texas will turn blue.
Will it turn Texas purple or blue? It's hard to say at this point, but we haven't had anything quite like this in some time in terms of enthusiasm among Democrats.
For the first time in about a quarter century, there are Democratic candidates running in all 36 Texas congressional races. President Trump has endorsed a number of Texas Republicans already and is expected to be more involved in the general election.
Nashville's mayor has resigned after pleading guilty to theft of property damages. Megan Berry admitted on January 31st that she had an affair with her former chief of security, Sergeant Rob Forrest. She appeared before a judge this morning and waived the right to present the case to the grand jury. As part of a plea deal, Berry will reimburse the city of Nashville $11,000.
And I sincerely hope and believe that my own actions will not tarnish or otherwise detract from all of the great work that they do. It has been my honor, and it has been the privilege of my entire professional life to have had the blessing and the opportunity to be your mayor.
Berry has accepted 3 years probation on the charge. Vice Mayor David Briley has been sworn in as the new mayor.
So New England got slammed with a powerful destructive nor'easter storm at the end of last week.
And it looks like part 2 is on the way. Ben's now here with the latest on all of that. Hey, Ben.
Once would have been enough, but now here comes the second punch, and you can see how much real estate is covered. All of those New England states in the pink, winter storm warnings, and it has been so far a tough 7 days, and now it's about to get tougher.
It's a race against time to get electricity restored for thousands of customers in the Northeast who have been without power since last week's nor'easter. Now a new storm that is blanketing parts of the Midwest with heavy snow is on the way, delivering a 1-2 punch to the region.
Now we're going from what is inconvenient to what could be a very dangerous situation.
Residents trying to get by without heat in their homes say getting the power back on can't come soon enough.
I remember this from Sandy, so, I'm prepared for this, but I didn't know it would go this long.
Winter storm warnings stretch from Pennsylvania into New England with more than a foot of snow forecast in some areas.
We'll just get through it and hope for spring.
Preparations extend all the way to the coast of Massachusetts, where crews are moving huge boulders to shore up a collapsed seawall. Inland, the concern is heavy wet snow and high winds bringing power lines down, and also trees which are weakened from the previous storm. Another blow to an already battered region still struggling to recover.
So that last storm that went through there, the wind was primarily what did the most damage. This time it's the amount of snow. And so it's kind of a different story, but really the same one.
It just doesn't feel fair when winter gets in that one last shot before spring gets here.
And so many people packed into that area. It's a very densely populated, lots of folks affected.
All right, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. The next big thing for Amazon, maybe checking accounts. The company is in talks with big banks, including JP Chase, about building a checking account-like product that the online retailer could offer its customers. The effort is still in its early stages, but whatever its final form, the initiative would not involve Amazon becoming a bank. If the product emerges, it would help reduce fees Amazon pays to financial firms and provide it with valuable data on customers' income as well as spending habits.
Much more to come. Who knew one of Twitter's favorite ways to describe really bad sports teams would make its way into the dictionary? Coming up, some of Merriam-Webster's 850 new words.
Also at 5:30, we know someone named Paula who has penned some great stories, but this is on a whole new level. What was discovered on shore from another Paula that dates back hundreds of years? Doc?
Well, it's a video game that claims to make you or your kids smarter. Coming up, see what makes this game so different from other learning games and the surprising partnership that helped make it available to the public.
Detroit. New at 6.
An inside look at how emergency responders prepare for a potential tragedy at your child's school. And the results may surprise you.
Plus a sobering wake-up call. In just 1 year, overdoses from opioids jumped by about 30%. And statistics from our region are far more devastating. How we can combat the worsening epidemic. In good health, it is a video game that claims to make you or your kids smarter.
And it has zombies in it, too. So Dr. Frank McGeorge here to explain what else makes this game so different from other learning games.
Well, that's just it, Karen and Jason. Let's face it, most learning games tend to be a little, boring. This game tries to tap into what makes non-educational games more interesting. The creators also had a very interesting partner in the project. That's the U.S. Navy.
When Fiona Conrad isn't making music, she's fighting zombies.
Make your way back to the road and head west again.
But it's not just child's play. Fiona says this game, called Project Azrael, has made her smarter.
When I took the IQ test, I was 97, and then I took the IQ test again, and I was 102.
We're trying to entertain you instead of entertain you.
Deanna Turzin and her team have worked for 6 years with the Office of Naval Research to develop the game. It focuses on fluid intelligence, or the ability to solve problems. One measure of fluid intelligence is your IQ.
If you could get your child to play this game some of the time, then that means some of the time that they're doing something for fun, they're actually training their brain.
You have to match patterns for you to be able to actually shoot the zombies.
One study showed those who played for 16 hours a month improved 5 points on average in their matrix reasoning score.
today's world is so much more complex than before. Students are expected, adults, children are expected to learn more in less time.
And now, even the undead are lending a hand.
So one reviewer said there is really no mistaking. This is a brain game. For example, you have to pause at certain points in the action to actually complete a memory test, but it does look more like a traditional game. Now, the Project Azrael game is available online, and the cost ranges from about $19 to $70. Back to you.
And it has zombies in it. I mean,
so cool.
Can't go wrong. Pizza Hut is releasing another pair of shoes, but this time around you can actually buy them.
Yes, they are calling them the Pie Tops 2, and they allow the wearer to order a pizza by pressing a button on the shoe. Now, new to this edition of the Pie Tops is a button on the tongue of the left shoe. By hitting it, it actually pauses live TV so you don't miss a thing when your pizza is delivered. In 2 weeks, the retail site HBX will offer 50 pairs, but the price won't be revealed until closer to the release date.